everyone. Today I'd like to show you how to make a simple and easy wire wrap. So I've got another video showing how I made this one, and this one's a triangle, and this one, which is on the other side of it, so that one is a pre-form, just showing you that you can use this technique on different shapes of stone. If I turn it on the back, so that's what the back looks like. So basically it's the same. So these two are similar technique but with a different look on the back. So one is twisted up and the other one's not twisted up. And if I turn that over, so this one, so it's basically operating on the same principles. And this one here is a pre-form. So if I turn it on that side, it's roughly the same technique, but with different outcome depending on the shape of the stone, or in this case, that is an uneven stone. So I could have set this that way, showing the higher part, but I have an imperfection here in the corner with showing some cracks. So I don't really like that. So I turned it to the back and made that into the back to just even out the way the stone sits, or the way the pendant will sit on the chest. I build up and put it on the side there instead of putting it in the center like these other ones here. So that way it will sit a bit better. So I'm going to be showing you how to do a rectangular stone first up, like this one here, because you have 4 points to worry about. So once you master the rectangular shape, or any stone that will have 4 sides, then the rest of the stones that you have, or different shapes of stones will just comes easy. So I have a piece of tiger iron. I was thinking for wires, if I use a silver wire, the wire stands out more than the tiger iron. So I'm using a copper wire because I think it blends in better with the tiger iron. First, I'd like to study the patterns of the stone. That way I'll know which one's the front and the back. So this one showing more patterns compared to the back. So I've got a dead spot here, whereas on the opposite side I got a couple of spots where it's showing some nice pattern. Also, there's a right way and a wrong way to setting this. So if you are setting a stone, make sure that when it lays against your chest, look at it from all angles, top to bottom. So if I say that's the top, if I do the bottom, the stone becomes dead. So I'm gonna make sure that I set this way. So I don't get confused, I put a tiny piece of masking tape to indicate that that will be the top where my bail is gonna go. So I just want to make a simple wrap like this one here. So I got a piece of wire 3 times the length of the diameter of the stone, with actually a couple of centimeter excess, so I think it's 40. First of all, straighten the wire by clamping it, or you can just use a flat nose pliers to hold it. And then I'll take my nylon pliers and just straighten this by pulling along, so dragging it a couple of times just so I cover all the surface of the wire. And I'm gonna join the 2 ends together. Take the center, so that's the center of the wire, so that's the front of my pendant. So I'll put the wire on the back like so, place a bit of masking tape on the back just so it doesn't move. Just go on the side, press it, and go around. So now, so roughly the 2 wires will end up there. So I'll just take the masking tape off now and just even it out so it's roughly about there. So, and then twist it a couple of times. Go. So I've got a couple of twists, and if I put this onto my stone now and pressing it at the back because that's sticking out, just to flatten it, and I'll put another masking tape on the front now. That will be easier for me to work with the stone without it jiggling about. So I've done one side of the wire, so which means I've got a short end and a long end. So I'll take the long end, and the short end I'll just straighten it up. And I'm going to go across and go to the front, curving it. Roughly the same size as on the opposite side. And I'm going to turn over in the back. That's roughly the same. So now I'm going to twist this times. And again, pushing that over the top. So if I take my masking tape off, just adjust that later on. So that way you've got the two sides covered. And I'm going to put my masking tape back on. And so I can work much better on the back. So now I'm going to do is twist the two wires together. And put one there and the other one here. Twisting it over each other. Now, if you even it out or not, it doesn't make any difference as long as you twist it. Just so you can have a shaft like that one there. On the other side of this one, see, I've just looped up the two. So it doesn't really make any difference how you do it as long as you got something to secure the wires at the back. And keep twisting it until you're happy with the distance of the wire on the back. So now I'm going to spread it out, and again, so that's almost the same distance on both sides. So now this one now, I'm going to do the same, just pushing it. I already know that's the top, so I can take off this masking tape. And again, I'm going on the front and going around the back again, and hold that end and twist it again. So 1, 2, and put it over. So it should look like that, and I'll do the same on this other side. So take it from the side, going around and going to that side there. You can center it or you can leave it like that, it doesn't matter. So now I'm going to twist this again and pull it out and twist it once or twice. Now I'm going to take the two wires that's sticking up and put it up the top, and now we're going to form a bail. So you can either just twist the two together, form up a bail, or I'm going to take a pen and bend it forward, grab the other end, go around. I'll try and do a couple of loops. Okay, I'll just see. So that's probably a bit too big. So I'm going to reduce it to a screwdriver. Okay, we pull that up, and if it's difficult to pull up or grab with your fingers, just grab pliers, nylon pliers. So I've got one on one side, a couple of loops on this one as well to even out our bail, 2, and that goes onto the opposite side. So they crisscross again, and I'm going to leave it on the screwdriver. So now the back should look like that, and then what I want to do is anchor this off to where it came from. So this side here came from the other side, so I'm going to loop it up to the same side. So you're going to end up with something that looks like this one here. So notice the loop or the rings on the bail that came from this side, and that is where I'm going to anchor it off. So I'll take my round nose pliers and just bend it a little bit, just so to help it along, and leave your pen or screwdriver in this case, so that way you don't warp your bail. I'm just going to take this to the front and wrap it up. Of times, once or twice, it's up to you, or it's up to how much wire you've got left. Okay, so I've got 2 there, and then now this one I'll do the same, and another one because I've done 2 on the other side. And if it looks like it's gonna fall off, don't worry, you can adjust it later on. And I'm just gonna trim off the excess. So cut it from the bottom and tuck it in, and if there's too much, don't be afraid to trim it off. So that way it's in the bottom and it doesn't show from the top. Okay, and I'll do the same on the other side. So I'm going to use my nylon pliers just to push everything in, tucking everything, and that one as well, how it sticks out. Just adjustment, and just inspect what it looks like in the back. If there's any loose wire, we can tighten it up. Taking the masking tape off, and that looks very pretty. I've said just adjustment. You can press the sides down like this too. Press it down. Bear in mind, as you do that, it will spread the bail at the top. You can have the bail close together or spread out. They look just as pretty. And from this side, just set that I'm just opening it. So just tweaking here and there to get the wire to sit. And also you can spread it like this by pressing on the stone and spreading the wire apart. Do the same on the other side. And once you're happy with your tweaking and the bail, we can spread it out as well, or just evening it out. So now our pendant is finished. So two ways of doing it. That one's more spread out, but I wrap up the top at the back. This one, I wrap up the center and left the one on top that way. So it doesn't really matter which way you do it. So just bear in mind also, when you're doing this or taking the measurements for your stone, you have to factor in the thickness of your stone. So as you can see, that one is thinner or much thinner than the other one. So the 3 times rule still follows, but if you have a thicker stone, then make it 4 times. In this case, well, I've done 3 times plus I've added on a centimeter to each side, which makes my wire measurement to 40 centimeters instead of 36. So that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it. Thank you for watching. Happy thoughts and happy wrapping.